In this video, we are going to review the process of adding opportunity line items to an opportunity in Salesforce. We're not going to go into a bunch of detail about the opportunity itself, as that is really information that is already known and should be talked about in another video. But as you can see, this is a basic custom VFR shirts opportunity. It's got a lot of required information in it, so that will be something we cover in other videos. However, you will all see this new object in the opportunity. Now, this is where we initiate the process of adding line items, which will eventually carry through the entire process into a sales order, potentially a purchase order, onto a work order, and eventually be on the invoice to charge the client. So there are two ways to add line items. One is by adding a line by the actual item number. And so if you know, for example, what the line item SKU is, you can type it right into here and it will come up. So 3930 brings up everything that matches that 3930 item number. However, an easier way to do it, or potentially easier way to do it, might be to add it by group, in which case it will allow you to search by item group. Now, we have organized all the item groups to categorize like items. So in the majority of circumstances, a particular style with a whole size run will be categorized as one item group. In the event that it's items that we rarely use, for example, Augusta Sportswear, as you know, is a brand. We might have multiple styles and multiple size variants in the Augusta Sportswear item group because it's not something we typically use. But all of the most popular styles have their own item group. For example, Gildan 18500 hoodie is its own item group. Fruit of the Loom Athletic, Fruit of the Loom Royal, Fruit of the Loom White, as well as Fruit of the Loom Color, which would be anything that is not an inventory stock item, but that we order from Fruit of the Loom in a particular color. So I'm going to use this as an example. Now, you're going to see it brings up all of the size SKUs related to this particular item group. Every item in Ascent has to have its own SKU. So essentially, we have one SKU for every size variant of a particular item in an item group. Now, what's nice about this is once you know what size distribution your client has selected, you can go ahead and add these by bulk. So let's say this is a youth order that we're ordering youth large, youth medium, and youth small for. We'll click those three and we'll add those lines. Now we save these. And these are now actively added into the opportunity. Okay. Now you'll notice as we go across here, you've got your item number, you've got your item description, you've got your quantity, and then you have a set price for the retail price of the blank. So this is not the cost, but this is the actual retail price of the blank. Now, in order to provide a client with an accurate quote, which is essentially the first step in adding opportunity lines and creating an opportunity, you'll of course need to know the total quantity of shirts and also the type of screen printing they want to do based on designs and colors so we can accurately calculate an estimated price. So let's assume they want 300 total shirts and 100 of each quantity. Now, I know sometimes clients are not sure what the size breakdown is. And if that's the case, that's not a problem. You don't need to add all of the shirt sizes. You can simply add one SKU and just total it up. So let's say they didn't know how many smalls, mediums, larges they wanted. We can just delete these. And we'll just use this one line item to figure out the price of 3 because they're all the same. They're all the same price blank. Now, over here is where you add your screen printing price. Now, this unfortunately is the one piece that we do not have automated yet, but you will use your price matrix, which provides you pricing on embroidery, pricing on DTG, and pricing on screen printing based on based on quantity breakdown and number of colors to determine the price per unit for screen printing. So, for example, let's just say based on 300 shirts and the client's telling you it's a one color front, this is going to be 50 cents to screen print. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and click save. And you will see that 323 plus 50 cents for screen printing, this shirt is now coming in at a total all-inclusive price of $373. We have baked in all of the necessary charges and fees and markups into the blank price and the screen printing price. So this is the price that you will quote your client. And if you go down to notes section here, if there are any notes that you need to add onto the quote, let's say client client may increase quantity to 500, in which case a new price break would be offered. Something like that, okay? We'll click OK there. We got to go up here and click save. Now, we can go ahead and simply make a quote using this booster quote button. It's going to bring up an automated quote with the information that we put in the opportunity, the account information, which obviously would populate the correct contact information, as well as a breakdown, itemized breakdown of what we just put in as opportunity lines. And remember, we added that 50-cent screen print price to bring the total unit price with decoration to $373, and it's 300 items, and there are our quote notes. And you could just easily send this off to the client for review and approval.